हम हमेशा फ्यूचर की तैयारी करते हैं, तो इंस्टीट्यूट भी वो हो जो हमारा फ्यूचर ब्राइट करे। स्पोकन इंग्लिश स्टडी वीजा, आइल्स और पीटीई के लिए ज्वाइन करें। अमेरिकन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ स्पोकन इंग्लिश, इंडियाज #1 इंस्टीट्यूट with over 500 branches.
Section 1. You will hear two students, Jack and Amy, discussing the details of the concerts that they are planning to hold. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Oh, hi, Jack. Thank you for coming to discuss the details of the concert. It's a real help.
No problem, Amy. I'm looking forward to throwing some ideas around. Shall we order coffee before we begin?
Yes, I'll have a cappuccino, please. Right. First on the agenda is deciding who the intended audience is, because we'll obviously have to base our choice of music on this.
The thing to do before they start is order coffee. So, coffee has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Oh, hi, Jack. Thank you for coming to discuss the details of the concert. It's a real help.
No problem, Amy. I'm looking forward to throwing some ideas around. Shall we order coffee before we begin?
Yes, I'll have a cappuccino, please. Right. First on the agenda is deciding who the intended audience is, because we'll obviously have to base our choice of music on this.
Classical concerts are held all the time, but I'd really like to do something different and make it special. What do you think about holding it outside?
I like the idea, but the weather is too unpredictable. What if we host the concert for children? We could make it more lighthearted and everyone could dress up in costume.
What a wonderful idea! We could host the event every afternoon so that children can attend after school. How much do you think we should charge?
I don't think we should charge more than $5 for the student tickets.
No, I think that $4 would be a fair price. We can charge adults a little bit more. I'd say that $6.50 is suitable.
Okay, great. That should hopefully cover the costs of running the event. The local press will be in attendance to take photographs to print in the newspaper, so we'll also need to organize a press tent.
It's all so exciting. There will also be a representative from the local radio station broadcasting live. They're predicting is that over 1,000 people will tune in to listen.
Now that we're agreed, let's move on to discuss our other more sophisticated concert, where we'll be hosting a number of well-known opera performers.
As the majority of people will be at work during the day, I suggest that the concert takes place in the late afternoon or evening. Which do you think?
I think we should definitely hold an evening concert. The darkness will make the entire performance more dramatic.
Yes, that will be fantastic. Let's host the event on Friday when everyone can wind down after finishing a week of work. It'll be a lovely start to the weekend.
As it will be a lavish and elegant event, I think we should set quite a high entrance fee of around $40. It'll give us some extra money to spend on decorations.
That sounds fair. Instead of using chandeliers and electric lights, we should decorate the marquee with candles instead. It would be so romantic.
Okay, perfect.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 6 to 10.
Now, moving on to the concert where we showcase talented opera singers from the local area. Perhaps we should host this opera show on Monday evening?
I think that the venue is already booked on Monday, but Tuesday will do nicely. How much do you think we should charge the audience for tickets?
Since the performers are not professionals, perhaps we should make this a free event.
Yes, tickets will be free, but we should ask everyone for a donation so that we can cover the costs of the venue and food and drink.
The venue also comes complete with a piano, so hopefully one of the performers will be able to play. I had lessons when I was younger, but I'm not accomplished enough to perform in front of an audience.
Well, what if we make our final concert a karaoke night where everyone of any ability can sing on stage? It could be really good fun, and it would give everyone the opportunity to join in.
Yes, I love that idea. Let's hold it during the day on Saturday so that everyone, including families and the elderly, can attend.
Perhaps we should offer concessions for students, children and the elderly to make the tickets more affordable and encourage everyone to come.
Yes, definitely. I think that the majority of the crowd will be composed of families and friendship groups, so we should avoid giving a group discount to maximize the income from ticket sales.
Let's arrange a secret surprise to end the show on a high for everyone. How about a band performance?
One of my friends happens to know a famous singer who I'm sure would be happy to perform for a small fee.
Oh wow, that sounds brilliant! Well, I think we've addressed the details for all of the concerts.
Thank you so much for helping. See you later.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 2.
Good morning everyone. Welcome to the Seven Sisters campsite. No, we are not in Seven Sisters, the London suburb we are all familiar with. Instead, we are in the middle of the outskirts of East Sussex, and it is called the Seven Sisters because of the 7 stunning white cliffs standing on the shores of England. As you can see, the scenery is beautiful beyond description. So, let us go through our weekly schedule. On Monday, you are going to walk along a trail in the middle of the countryside. We are going to walk up hills past through a flock of sheep. On Monday, you are going to walk along a trail in the middle of the countryside. We are going to walk up hills, pass through a flock of sheep and reach a crystal clear lake where we are going to have a picnic. You are also welcome to have a swim there. Obviously, this may only occur if weather permits. You know that it rains a lot this time of year, and weather conditions can affect our schedule. Next, we are going to carry on walking through this hilly area until we reach an untouched and unexplored beach on Tuesday. It is a pebble beach, so you shouldn't expect to see or build any sandcastles there. However, you can do some sunbathing while pebbles massage your back. It is an amazing view and you will feel like contemplating the 7 seas for hours. This is where we will put up our tents. We will be staying there until the next day. If you are keen on water sports, then this is the place to be. You can go to water skiing, parasailing and jet skiing. You can go on a banana boat ride. We also offer a range of sailing boats, canoes and kayaks for those who like to set sail into an ocean of adventure. You will be provided with life jackets. Remember to use appropriate safety equipment for whatever activity you intend to engage in. Now, if you are not into water sports, then you can look up to the sky. Yes, we are surrounded by magnificent white cliffs. If you want to do more than simply gaze at the incredible view, then you can put on protective gear and you are ready to go rock climbing. You can climb up the cliff and see the sunset from the top of the Seven Sisters. Do you know how you can go down? Well, we offer a paragliding experience to our rock climbers. You can launch yourself from there and reach the shores in a few minutes. After you go back to our campsite, you can share your adventures with your new friends while we are sitting in front of a fire. You can expect an unforgettable experience.
Section 3. You will hear Tim and Jenny, 2 students, talking about their geography assessment. First, you'll have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, but I'm really stressed out about our geography assessment next week. Have you done any work on it yet?
I've looked at it a little bit, but it would be helpful to discuss it with someone else. Do you want to chat about it with me?
That would be great. Do you know what the rules are for the test?
For our assessment last term, we were all required to collect raw data in order to achieve a pass. However, this term the tutor has said that it won't be necessary for us to do this.
I read through the notes and they said that we are all going to be given a set of instructions that we can choose to follow if we wish, but it's not mandatory and we can complete the exam as we wish.
I don't think that the rules will be too strict. As long as we don't copy the answers from anyone else's exam paper, I think we'll be sure to pass.
Yes, I agree. Shall we put together a slideshow presentation with information on all of the volcanoes? I think it will really help us to revise the facts.
Okay, great. Let's start with Pompeii. It's the most well-known of all the volcanoes, so it should be easy to find lots of information about it online.
I'll avoid including some of the images in the presentation, as many people were killed, and some of them can be quite disturbing. We're lucky to have a double free period today, so we will have plenty of time to revise this together.
Okay, next up is Mount Fago. This is an ancient mythical volcano, the location of which is unclear. There are mountainous regions in both Mexico and the USA, both of which are rumored to be the site of this volcano.
It's not very scientific to list 2 separate locations for one volcano, but since no one has been able to prove which is the correct one, we're left with no choice. It's interesting that there is no other example of a volcano in existence today that is surrounded by so much mystery.
Absolutely. I think we should include some information about Mount Etna in Sicily, which is famous for the stunning panoramas that one can appreciate from its peak. According to Google, it's a relatively new volcano compared to others in the surrounding region, which may be why it has very few of the features found in older volcanoes.
Oh, how interesting.
Shall we include information on Mount Hurton? I don't think that any of the other students have carried out much research into it, even though it has a lot of unique features.
I think we should leave it out. Since it's a man-made volcano, it's not that relevant to our syllabus, and probably won't be included in any of the exam questions.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Have you gotten feedback from your tutor on your presentation last week?
Yes, I have, but I don't think he was very impressed. He was satisfied by the amount of research that I had prepared before I started, but he criticized the fact that I was mostly summarizing the facts instead of giving my own opinion.
Oh, that's a shame.
It was frustrating that he criticized my work, but in the end I learned a lot from my tutor's feedback. He advised me that next time I should present my work as a short documentary film, which he thinks will help me to strengthen my arguments. What topic was your presentation based on?
I chose to write about the lack of knowledge that most people have about volcanoes, and the fact that they see them in such a negative way. During documentaries and lectures, the scientific experts often neglect to mention the many positive features that volcanoes possess.
That sounds really interesting. Well done.
I think everyone enjoyed watching, but I was really nervous about talking in front of an audience. I also felt very underprepared, since I didn't finish writing the presentation until the night before, and therefore had no time to rehearse it.
I'm sure it was great. Is there any other information that you think we should include in our slideshow for revision?
Yes, I think it's important that we list all of the differences between active and extinct volcanoes, as there will definitely be a question on this topic. There are no documentaries on the subject, but there's a very informative website that discusses the geological structure of each volcano type.
Okay, well, I'll continue collecting images and you can carry on with the online research.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4.
In today's lecture, we shall consider the importance of natural resources and the provision of renewable energy. As you know, petrol is a non-renewable energy source and it is no longer regarded as the only source of energy. This is due to the fact that petrol cannot be replenished, which means that sooner or later it will have been completely extracted. However, according to the International Energy Agency, natural resources are replenished constantly, and as a result, they provide several forms of renewable energy. These resources are forms of renewable energy. These resources are derived from the sun, wind, geothermal and hydropower. Moreover, energy can also be generated from biomass or plant material and biofuel. The first renewable source I'd like to look at is solar energy. Energy is generated by solar radiation and it can be used in a variety of applications which range from providing hot water and central heating in houses to powering industrial boilers. Solar energy can be divided into active solar and passive solar techniques. While active solar techniques rely on photovoltaic panels and solar thermal collectors, passive solar techniques are resulted from architectural strategies, for instance, place the windows so that natural daylight can provide internal lighting. The sun may also play an important role in biomass. When plants carry out photosynthesis, they absorb energy from the sun. They store solar energy and they release it as soon as they are burnt. In other words, plants act as a natural battery. Plants can also be grown specifically for energy production. Now let us consider wind turbines. It is estimated that wind energy increases 30% annually, and it is generated from wind turbines, a device used from producing between 600 kilowatts and 5 megawatts of rated power. Wind turbines are normally located in offshore and mountainous areas where the wind is more constant. However, wind speeds are 90% higher in offshore regions than in high-altitude areas, and they provide significant amounts of energy. Hydropower energy is generated from hydroelectric dams and they may produce 100 kilowatts of rated power. Hydropower energy may also be generated in rivers and oceans even though they are deprived of dams. In this case, run-of-the-river hydroelectric power has resulted from kinetic energy. Energy may also derive from the earth. This is known as geothermal energy and, as the name suggests, it is resulted from trapping the heat in volcanic locations. It may also be obtained from geothermal heat pumps or ground source heat pump (GSHP), a system that extracts heat stored in the ground. Geothermal energy is produced in countries such as New Zealand, United States and Chile. In 2000, 86% of Icelandic houses were powered by geothermal energy. Finally, biofuels are developed from biomass. They may be divided into solid biomass, liquid fuels and biogases. An example of liquid fuel is bioethanol, which is resulted from ethanol production from sugarcane. Bioethanol is used as a gasoline additive in the USA and Brazil. Another example of liquid fuel is biodiesel, which is made from vegetable oils, animal fats or greases. This biofuel is largely used as a diesel additive and reduce levels of carbon monoxide from diesel-powered automobiles in Europe. In 2010, 2.7% of the world's transport fuel was derived from biofuels.